So here it is, the next series of my videos for this new prop of mine. I wanted to just show the movement. It's actually, I've got it all working now. There's still a lot more to be done, but I wanted to give you kind of a second phase of this to let you see how I've set this up. So these arms, first off, is you can find videos everywhere of how to make these. These are just hangers, and then I wrapped them in masking tape. And the way that I do mine, I'll get a close-up here, is, and I saw this somewhere, so I paint them black first, and then I take white paint and then brush it over it, so you can see, as you get closer here, all the texture of the hands. And then the hands, what I did here, and you'll see once I get the movement going, I just extended the hangers through the ends of the fingers, drilled little holes in the plastic pumpkin, bent the ends of the hangers through, and so that's what holds the fingers to the face. You'll see here, this is just a couple 90s hooked together, and this connection right there is actually very loose because it needs to flex. And the nice thing is that this, as you can maybe imagine when you see this, the movement is it's not just one plane of motion. It actually kind of rotates. It's kind of a combination, and so this needs to flex a little bit because it's going back, but it's kind of going up and back, and they seem to work pretty good. I want to get to the back here. I talked a little bit about, so here's my motor assembly. It's very simple. I've got a 2.5 inch, or actually a 5-inch total throw. So my little bar this time off the motor is only 2.5 inches, which is great. This is the, right there, this is my speed controller. And I've talked about before, the nice thing, if you can see that well, is even the ones they sell on Monster Guts, which I don't actually like that much, they're a complete open circuit board. The knob can be broken very easily, and this one here you can see is completely encased in metal, and it's got an on and off button. Again, I got it on eBay. I could probably find it if I wanted to look at, if somebody was that interested, but you can find them on eBay, and it was under 10 bucks. But the great thing about these, and these are the ones I use all the time now, is that they're totally encased. Nothing's going to get broken or anything. And then as you can see here too, one thing I did different this time is I try to use PVC pipe as much as I can. So you can see I actually just put in some T's, some PVC pipe, but I did use a piece of OSB to hold my motor. But pretty much this whole prop is going to be PVC pipe. Down here, these I'm going to leave unglued. I'm just going to screw them so that I can take the whole base off and it'll be easier to store. So I'm going to stop right here and then I'll turn it on and then I'll talk about the action. Okay, so here's the action. It actually works really well. I don't have the skull in there yet. I've actually found one finally and online, and it's ordered. And I want to show this though, because once the skull's in, I'm going to have lights. I bought these LED strip lights that I've never used before, but I'm going to put them inside because when it opens up, I want there to be like a strobe light on the skull. But one thing, so you'll notice that as I was hoping with this prop, there's 3 movements off this one motor. First off, you can see here how it leans forward, so the whole thing's going to move forward. You've got the arms moving back and forth. I'll step back a little bit here again so you can see the arms are pulling in and out, and then you actually have the head opening. So 3 movements off one motor. Like I said, these hands are just drilled through and attached to the pumpkin, so it gives the appearance of I think the whole idea is that the hands are opening the head. And then, like I said, with the bottom, or at the top of the body leaning forward, that'll be just one more movement. It actually comes leaning towards you as it opens. So one thing I did do here, you'll see right here, is I put in some rubber bands. They're not really under much tension, but I'm trying to make sure that the head closes as much as possible. So those arms kind of try to pull the plastic head back together a little bit tighter. And so that's it. It actually is all working. It's really a smooth action. I haven't dressed it or anything yet. Don't have the skull inside, but again, with my ongoing theme of trying to get multiple motions with just one motor, so I've got 3 this time. The head's opening, the arms are moving out, and then the whole body is leaning forward. So it works. And any questions or anything, let me know. My next video, I'll plan on having the skull in there, the head all done, the lights, and it dressed up, and you guys will get a kind of a view of what it's going to look like close to being finished. So one thing I forgot to show was when the head opens and the skull is going to be showing, I wanted some kind of screaming soundtrack, and I was trying to figure out how to do it where it wasn't continually playing, you know, and I again don't have the software or something to have some type of delay. So here's my, I think, a pretty simple way of doing it. I bought a light switch, a flip light switch, and you can hear it. And so what I did is I just mounted on a piece of wood, and that vertical strut just slides over it and clicks it on and off. And then I'm going to take one of the speaker wires and cut it and run it through this switch. So the sound will always be playing, but when this switch is toggled on, then you'll hear it, and when it toggles, it'll be off. And this, if I go to the front here, and you can listen to the click, you can see how it's going to time. On, off, on, off. So simple, real low-tech way to toggle a sound effect on and off. So again, I want to show it before I get it all covered up, and so you guys can see how I planned this effect.